Happy new month, traders. On the 13th of last month, I made this video. In that video, I talked about documenting my journey to adding another million in propfirm funding. In that video, I also talked about not trading the account until December. Well, this is December. Happy new month once again. I happen to place my first trade today, risking 1% as usual, but I won't advise you use 1% though, because it all depends on how solid your strategy and win rate is. My strategy and win rate is solid enough for me to risk 1% per trade on prop firms. So I took the trade. It was a 1-to-2 reward to risk trade. This is the setup and this is the outcome. So let's quickly go to my dashboard so that I show you the equity curve and prove that today was the day I actually placed the first trade. So this is the dashboard. So if you watch that first video, the link is going to be in the description of this video. You can see that this is that account number. And this is even the invoice as when I purchased the account. So you can spot the account number. You can go and verify. It was a 6K account. And as you can see, I'm up 2%. Let's check out the equity curve. As you can see, I've only placed one trade. So that's why it's a 100% win rate. By no means do I have a 100% win rate. So I just want to make that clear. So let's check the analytics. You can see the date I bought the account. It was on the 12th of November, or was it 13? So I didn't trade. That's why it's all flat, as you can see. And today was the day I actually placed that trade. And as you can see, this is 1st of December. You can see the equity curve. By the way, these trades are copied to my other accounts, my big accounts and stuff. Remember, this account is just for the purpose of showing you that you can actually scale from a small account to a big account. So I actually bind my trade using a trade copier, which I talked about in this video. The purpose of this video is to prove that all you need to master is the skill. This trading skill is yours and no one can take it away from you. Now, after acquiring the skill, the next thing you need is designing a roadmap of where you want to be as a trader. I'm talking about financial goals here. Do you want $1 million? Do you want 5 million? Or maybe you just want $1,000? All I'm trying to say is define your roadmap and work towards it. In the part 1 of this video, someone argued that, nah, I can't do it. Now, I don't want to stress the part where I have in fact done it already. Well, before MFF took me to minus 400k in capital, we all know the news. Now, let me show you mathematically how easy it is to do this. And what I'm about to talk about next doesn't apply to you if you are yet to master the art of trading. So do yourself a favor, not me, not anyone, but yourself. Do yourself a huge favor by paying for mentorship from whoever you think you can trust. Let me be honest. No one will give you absolute devotion for free. Well, you could also do it on your own like I did, just that one is going to take longer than the other. So now let's go to the mathematics. Now you have the skill. You've back-tested and forward-tested your strategy, and now you have absolute confidence in it. Next thing is you should start trading big. But hold up, wait a minute. Do you know if you have a risk to reward ratio of just 2-to-1, and for every 10 trades you place, you only win as little as 4 trades and lose as much as 6 trades? And let's say, just like me, you are risking 1% per trade on prop firms, you will still be 2% up. Now calculate that. So while this may not always be the case, since you have a solid trading strategy, if you have a solid trading strategy, you could do beyond just 4 wins in 10 trades, right? However, this goes to show that if you can maintain such consistency and discipline, your account will always remain healthy. How cool is that? What is more interesting, like I said earlier, is you will not always lose that much if you have a solid strategy, right? So risk management is very important. Always use stop losses and do not readjust them. Man up and be wrong when you're wrong. In the same vein, don't close profits too early, because sometimes you are tempted to readjust your stop loss and you want to close your profit too early because you're scared that price may not get to that point and reverse, right? So think statistics, know your strategy and master it. More than 90% of my trades are at least 2-to-1 reward to risk, right? So what that simply means is that when I am risking $1,000 on a trade, 90% of the time, I only take profit of at least $2,000. That way, even if I have more losses than winners, I still smile to the bank. Risk management is very, very important. It is all about statistical advantage, which is your edge. I personally average around 6 to 7% per month on prop firms. Of course, I do way more than that on my swing account because I risk more than 1% per trade on that one. But let's focus on prop firms. Let's say you have a realistic goal of 4% per month. On a funded prop firm account of just $6,000, like mine, right? 4% profit is $240, right? And let's say they take 20%, they pay you 80%. Let's peg it at 80%. It goes beyond that, right? But let's peg it at 80%. So if you make 240, which is 4% of 6K, and after they take their 20%, you are left with $192, which is your 80% share, right? Now, with $192, what account can you purchase next? You easily say $119. But remember, they are going to refund. If you make it to your first payout, they are going to refund the amount with which you purchased that account. But let's forget about that, right? So you make $192 and the 15K account is only $119, right? So you still have about $73 to go and flex. And then purchasing 15K accounts, you now have 21K accounts and you trade it, right? So while you are still battling with phase 1 and 2 on the 15K account, you are still making withdrawals on your 6K account. So you are good, right? So let's say it takes you 1 or 2 months to pass your phase 1 and 2. Then if you can make only 4%, that is $840 of 21K. I'm talking about 6,000 plus 15,000. That's 21,000, right? So if you make 4%, that's $840. Now with $840, let's say they take their 20%, you are left with 80%. That would be $672. Do the calculation, do the maths. That's $672. With $672 from this account, you can jump to 100K account. Can you see that you've skipped 25, you've skipped 50? Now you can afford a 100K account, which is just $519. So you can see that you still have about 100 plus. And with this 100K account, you now have plus 15 plus 6, which is 21. So 21 plus 100K, that was 121 in capital. So you trade it, you repeat the same process and get your 4% payout again. And I would advise you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. You could diversify by buying from other reputable prop firms and trade all accounts at once using the trade copier. I have a video on that in the description of this video down below. So go check it out. So easily you can see how you can scale. I mean, remember, you already have the skill. You've already back tested and you forward tested before you can start doing this. Very, very important. Believe, guys, if you want consistent big payouts, all you need to do is increase your capital, not the risk. Increase capital, not the risk. Trading is hard, but it can be simplified. Acquire and master the skill. Backtest and forward test. Very important. I've stressed that enough in this video. Stick to the grind. Think big and trust me, your future self will thank you. Episode 3 of this series will be after passing phase 1. I'll also include the documented trades, which includes the winners and the losers in that particular video. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. Catch you later, guys.